Hello, everybody, and welcome to Money Mindset, a fantastic subject today. And well, the very first tip is that money mindset is an inside job. We've got some beautiful girls that are off to the side, and we can't see their faces on the recording, but we've all said hi in the chat box, and we will unmute everyone later on down the track. We've all had the opportunity to say hello, though. Okay, so today we're going to talk about three things when it comes to money and mindset. And so those three areas that we're going to talk about, first of all, before we get there, I want to talk about whether or not this webinar is actually for you. So money is a webinar for you if setting your prices is a challenge for you. So in your business that you're working in, or it might be that you're serving in a market, it might be that you're in an MLM, if setting your prices for the work that you do is challenging, then this webinar will be for you. If you are a chronic over-deliverer, so if you give more all the time, then this webinar is for you. If there's more months at the end of your money, then this webinar is for you. If you're challenged by the money conversation, so when someone asks you, how much is that going to cost? If you're challenged by those conversations, then this is definitely the place for you. If you need to have a conversation with your boss about increasing what you're actually getting paid, then this is the place for you as well. If you're really happy to give, but you feel uncomfortable when it comes to actually receiving or asking, then this is the webinar for you. If, oh, I love this, if the friends that you hang with all don't have money, then this is the webinar for you, because an absolute important thing to know is proximity is power. And we are the average of our 5 friends. So have a think about it. Your 5 closest friends, the 5 people that you spend the most time with, they might be family, they could be friends, but the 5 people that you spend the most time with, what's their money situation like? Because we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Are you stuck in the same income bracket? Like, you might be earning great money, you might be on 100,000, but you're looking to really break through and get onto the next level, then this is the webinar for you. If you let others handle your money, and this was my challenge, I let others handle my money, and I didn't realize that was even happening until after the event. If you've reached your upper limit, so if you've been at the same income bracket for a really long time and you've reached your upper limit and you're ready to go to the next level, then this is the webinar for you. And if you've purchased more than one wealth strategy, then this is the webinar for you. So a wealth strategy might be learning how to do shares and options, learning how to flip houses, learning how to do Airbnb. So any of those things are wealth strategies. And if you've purchased more than one of them, there's a really good chance that you that you need to listen to this webinar. Now, I'm just looking down to have a look at the chats. Oh, thanks, Rose. Money mindset is an inside job. Fantastic. And okay, so we're all muted. Good, we're good to go. All right, let's on to the next page. Oh, we're not muted. I can hear someone chatting. Okay, so the things that we're going to talk about today is your money mindset. We're also going to talk about your money story, and we're going to talk about staying in the money zone. So 3 separate areas. Now, all up, this should take us about 30 minutes to cover these 3 things off. But probably the most important thing is to have a conversation about things at the end. Now, if you haven't got pen and paper, I would suggest it's a really good idea to have a pen and paper. So I have my pen and paper here. If not, then maybe if you're on a PC, you could probably type while I'm talking. The other thing is, for the girls that are actually in the Thrive Tribe, this will be recorded so they can watch it. And Carla, you're in the Thrive Tribe, so I know that you can re-watch this. If any of your girls from the market group want to re-watch this, all we need to do is invite them into the Thrive Tribe and they can watch the recording, so that's fine. Because I did see one of the girls did ask about watching the recording. Okay, so what you think on grows, and where you put your energy, that's what makes the difference. So if you're continually thinking about the lack of money, then that's what you're going to be getting. You're continually getting the lack of money. Do any of you guys know a hypochondriac? So someone who's always unwell. Like, I've got one in my family, and I know that they always talk about being unwell, and they're always unwell because they always attract that. And it never ceases to amaze me that people set themselves up. So today at lunch, one of the girls goes, oh, they always stuff my orders up. Now, interestingly enough, they always do stuff her orders up, but that's because she's always saying that. So she's just reaffirming that, and then that's what the universe is delivering. So we want to have a look at where your mindset actually is. All right, so what you focus on grows, what you think about expands, and what you dwell on determines your destiny. So I know for the longest period of time, I concentrated on the lack of money and was always thinking about the lack of money. So all I got was the lack of money. And I lived in that lack for such the longest time. So I know this is absolutely true. Rose, you're doing a great job of doing a summary in the chats there. Thank you for that. All right. So this is important to understand, is that your unconscious rules the world. So you can see this iceberg here, something that the Titanic had to deal with. And you can see the top half of the iceberg, you've got 10%. And that's that 10% at the top. You've got willpower, you've got decision making, and you've got logical thinking. And yep, that's all well and good. But if you can see below the line, we've got 90% of what happens is below the line. So it's really great to think about your subconscious and your unconscious thoughts as an iceberg, because most of it happens underneath. So you can see there that 90% is underneath the water. So that's your reoccurring thoughts. And it's amazing, 90% of the things that you think on a daily basis are reoccurring thoughts. And by the time you're 35, most of those are set in motion. So you have to actually break those patterns, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So your behaviors, your emotions, your beliefs, your identity, your habits, your feelings, your recent memories, your phobias and addictions, and locked in resistant to change. And that's because they're all in that 90% underneath the water, the biggest part of the iceberg. Now, this is great news, even though it looks a bit dim here. It's actually great news because your mind cannot tell the difference between real and imagined. It just cannot tell the difference. So here what you can see on the screen is you can see this is a brain scan. I'll just see if I can slide the chat group out the way so you can see. So this is what's happened. We've got a group of children and we've taught them how to play the piano. And so here we've got 3 different groups. We've got a group that's practiced physically playing the piano. And then we've got a group, that's the second group. So I'll just point here, that's the mental practice. These guys here are going to practice playing a little tune. You know, Mary Had a Little Lamb. They're going to practice that. And then the bottom group, the control group, they're not going to do anything different. So what they've done is they've taken a brain scan of the children when they've come back to play. And the children that actually practiced physically, Mary Had a Little Lamb, had exactly the same brain scans as the kids that practice mentally. So the difference here is that your mind cannot tell the difference between real and imagined. It cannot tell the difference. That's amazing. I'm just bringing the chat box back up. It's absolutely amazing. So even though it looks scary when we have a look at the iceberg, that 10% is only above the line, our willpower, our making decisions, our logical thinking, and 90% is below, that our subconscious mind, the part that lives below the water, it does not know the difference between real and imagined. So we can program it. We can get it to do what we want it to do. Yes, there is ego going on. Here we go. All right, so now we're going to have a look at our money story. For me, the money story was a little challenging. I was in denial initially that I really had a challenging money story. But the way to tell if your money story needs a look at it is to say, what's happening in your results? Like right now, are you living the life that you want to live? Are you the person that you want to be? Are you living in a land of abundance? Is there more money at the end of your month? Are you able to invest? Are you able to look at different options? So if your end results aren't giving you what your desires are, then we need to start by having a look at your money story. Okay, so I'm just going to turn the page to have a look at here. This is how it's set up. So our beliefs, what we think, our attitudes and our feelings, they create our actions, and then that creates the results in your lifestyle. Oops, I was making it smaller. not larger. Okay, so you can see here that if you're unsure about what's happening with your money story, what we want to do is we want to start from the results. So just have a think right now. Are there things that you can think of that front of mind? And I would say that the answer is yes, because you're here on the webinar. Is there things about money that you want to change? So then what we need to do is we need to have a look at the beliefs, the thinkings, the attitudes and the feelings that have created the behaviours and the actions that are giving you the result that you're getting right now. Okay, so what results do you want to change? Now I'm just going to bring everyone back in and unmute everybody. Hello Effie darling, how are you? I'm just unmuting everybody. Hi Susie, how are you? Okay, so we should have everybody unmuted now.
Carla, Joan and Sue, can you unmute yourselves, please?
Done.
Thanks, guys.
I think I'm done.
Girls, so I just want to open the group up now before we go on any further, and I just want to ask you, are there results right now in your life that you want to change? So it would just be really helpful, and this is really brave because, money is, has got its own secrets. Is there someone here that would like to share with us what they would like to change about their money situation?
I'd like to be more financial.
Like to be more financial. Fantastic. Thank you very much for sharing. Say that again, sweetheart.
Yeah, right.
Say that again. I didn't hear that, darling.
Can't really hear.
No, I can't really hear. Okay, so nothing. There's no burning challenges here for anyone. You've all got. Joan, Joan.
I certainly want to change my money situation.
Yep.
I have, in the past, I have been in jobs that was reasonably highly paid, but I'm now retired and I am needing to generate some form of income.
Right. Okay. All right. So she's saying that she's been in jobs before and they haven't given her the income that she's looking for. All right. So I'm just going to pop everyone back on mute. I think we're muted. If I haven't muted you, if you could press your own mute button. Oh, yes, press your own buttons. Oh, hi, Tanya. Tanya's got us in her lap while she's driving. I can see that. There we go. We can see you, Tanya. All right, I'm just going to make the faces disappear, guys, just so that we can go back to here. So this is about having a look at the results that you're currently getting. And then what we're doing is working backwards and having a look at the beliefs and the thinking and the attitudes that have created this challenge in the first place. And so this starts while having a look at the results that you're actually getting. So I'm going to give you some questions on the screen. So Tanya, clearly you're driving. You will not be answering these questions whilst you're driving, but the rest of us can actually have a look at these questions. So I'm just going to pull them up onto the screen. Are you being paid what you're worth? And thanks, Joan, for sharing with us. You don't believe that you are being paid what you're worth. What 5 words you associate with money? So without even thinking, grab pen to paper and write down 5 words that you associate with money. Type a word in the chat box so that we can see that you're listening to what we're talking about. Oh, stability, great. Mine was there will always be enough. You know, my mother used to say that all the time. There will always be enough. And you know what? There was always enough, but only just enough. So, yes. Yep. Spending ability. Yep. Stress. Yes, yes. Nikki's got a love heart. That's fantastic. That's beautiful. All right. So what are the 5 words that you associate with money? This is going to help you get a handle on the belief structure that's holding you in your money story. And even if you can't come up with the 5 words now, what I would like you to do is just, you know, open your mind to listening to what you say next time that you go shopping and you see a beautiful dress in the window. What do you instantly say to yourself when you see that dress that would really look great on you? What do you say when the children want something extra? What do you say when there's some food that you want to buy that you can't necessarily afford? What do you say when there's a special on air flights and you really want to have a holiday but there's no money there? Like, pay attention to the words that you're saying to yourself, because this is what we're doing. We're reprogramming ourselves every day, 1,000 times a day, back into our money story. And mostly it's not even our money story. Here's the sad thing, is mostly this is the story of our parents and our parents' parents and our parents' parents. So it's generational. It's not just what you've experienced, it's what they've experienced, because that's how we train ourselves down the line. I can't afford that, hanging out. Yep, great feedback, guys. I need more to take care of the kids, needs not enough, unreachable, fantastic, great feedback. Okay, so let's have a look at the next words. What's 5 emotions you think about money? So we're not talking about the words that you say. What is the emotions? How do you feel about it? Do you feel happy? Do you feel sad? Do you feel scared? Yep, sadness, thank you very much. Yeah, tense, yes, tense, yep. Yep, scared, yep. Okay, so the annoyed, exactly, fantastic. So, and fearful. So listen to these words, these emotions. The emotions are programming the words that we're using. Yeah, worried. So what we're doing is we're continually getting more. We're just sending out to the universe exactly what we're getting back. Anxious, thank you, Crystal. So we know this stuff, but we keep doing it. So what we need to do is we need to change our money story, and everything that you do about moving forward, about making change, everything that you do starts with awareness. And this is why these questions are so powerful. It gives you an opportunity to raise your awareness, and you can see that you're programming yourself. You don't need to go and have NLP or have any special healing. You just need to have awareness around the words and the thoughts that you're saying that are holding you in the patterns that you're in right now. I know I get a bit passionate, don't I? Only because I've been through this, I'm out the other side, and it is easier than you think to change the process. Okay, so the next one is it is easy for you to make a lot more money? Is it easy for you to make a lot more money? The answer is yes or no. Yeah, is it easy for you to make a lot more money? You're welcome, Nikki. I love you too. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week, Nikki. So is it easy for you to make a lot more money? And if so, why? Okay, and if your answer is no, it's not being easy to make a lot more money, we need to start there and have a look at what we can do to change that for you. Because it all starts with a thought process, and once we change the thought process, literally everything falls in your lap. It's that simple. And you're going, whatever, Charlene, but it's that true. When we're going through this process today talking about money, for some of you, you're going to want to know a lot more about the subject and go deeper. So there's a couple of things that we can do. You can either book a one-on-one with me or join the Thrive Tribe, because there's lots of fun things that happen in there and you'll learn lots in that space, and you get to rewatch the videos for free. The other thing is that everyone that's here, Rose is writing down your name and your number, like what sequence you came into the group, because at the end we're going to give away a free money session. I'm so excited. So at the free money session, you're going to learn about your avatar and how to work with your money story and how I can personally help you move forward. So that's worth $150. So good luck to the girls today, and boys, one of you will win that. Okay, let's have a look. The next one is, How hard do you have to work for your money? Oh, you see, so I had a money story that said that I had to work so hard for money. And you know, my parents taught me that one because they said they had to work hard for their money, and grandfather and grandmother said they had to work hard for their money. It was always about working hard. So, you know, then I had the same thing. I was working hard for my money. And did that serve me? No. I was working sometimes till 2 o'clock in the morning to get things finished so that I could, you know, move on to the next thing. The truth of the matter is you do not have to work hard for your money. It is another limiting belief that holds us where we are. Is it possible for you to make twice as much money next year? Ooh, that presses buttons, doesn't it? That presses buttons. So is it possible for you to make twice as much money next year? Okay, and then the next one is, what would you have to do to make twice as much money? What would you have to do to make twice as much money? Okay, so now with these questions, what you want to do is you want to put a great big tick next to the ones that are working for you around your money beliefs. So some of the things are obviously going to be working for you, and you want to put a big cross next to the ones that aren't working for you. So with the questions that we just went through, put a tick next to the ones that are working for you and put a cross next to the ones that aren't working for you. And then from there, you can create a new money story. So, and it all starts with that level of awareness. Okay, someone's drawing lines all over the screen. Thanks for that. All right, okay, so now let's move on and have a look at your money zone. And I know that I'm looking at the time and I know that we need to give a wiggle on. So I'm just going to keep moving. Thank you. Yes, we're going to talk about your money zone. All right, so do you have a strategy? First of all, we need to have a look at setting your goals. And what you can see on the screen right now is my vision board, and I do a vision board every single year. That vision board, what I do is I take a photo of it and I keep it as a screensaver on my phone. You can also keep it as a screensaver on your laptop as well, so that the things that you want to have, you're absolutely crystal clear about what it is that you want to do with your money. So it's not about having a giant pile of money, it's about what are you going to do with your money. What sort of lifestyle changes are you going to have for your family and your friends? What are you going to do for yourself? Because we don't get turned on by a pile of money, we get turned on by the things that money can give us. So set your goals around what it is that you want to do. A vision board is the best way to do that. The next thing is you need to write down how. So how are you going to attract this money? So what we do there is we do a brainstorming session about how you can receive money. I tell you, this is so powerful. I've had this conversation with many people, and we've come up with the strangest ways to make money. So a girl that does, she's a kinesiologist, and we needed to find ways for her to make money right now so she could expand her kinesiology business because it wasn't making the money. She does tarot readings. Well, she never thought of actually charging for her tarot readings. So it's amazing when you sit down and think, and it's really great to do this with someone else, how you can come up with a huge list of things, how you can make money. It might be selling things that you have in your house. It might be doing Gumtree and selling things that way, or doing Marketplace. It could be, oh, look, there's just so many ways. We could just do a webinar on how, actually, but we'll keep going because the next one is you need to hear it. So you need to add to your daily affirmations, and money needs to be one of them. So some people, what they do is on their ringtone, they put the ching ching on their ringtone, you know, that part from the money song. So you want to find something that is going to give you an audible recognition of reminding you about money so that you're hearing it. So ringtone is great, having it in your playlist, and even your daily affirmations. So one of my daily affirmations is, I give thanks for the millions that are mine by divine right, that now pour in and pile up in perfect ways under grace. So having it as an affirmation is a great way to help you move through and keep you in the money zone. Okay, believe it or not, smell it. So smeller is important as well because we want to get through the reticular activating system and we want to reprogram the brain. So we need to hit it with as many angles as possible. And smell is one of those angles that can't be programmed through the RAS. So what you need to do is you need to use smell. Now, so if you want to get a new car, you know, get one of those smelly things that is a new car smell. If you want to, you know, live in a different environment, you know, get a beautiful candle that smells nice so that you can smell it. Now, I grew up in a household where my father was a hoarder, so we didn't have a particularly lovely smell in the house. So for me, I've always wanted to change my environment by changing my smell. So you know, if you guys sell candles, hit me up because I buy so many of them. So you want to make sure that you're in your money zone by staying in the smell of it. Okay, choose a sign. So I love this one. Choose a sign from the universe, and every time you see this sign, it's going to remind you of your abundance. Now, you have so many signs of things not working. Choose something that is working. So for me, since I've been doing this, I've had rainbows, I've had feathers. My one that was recent was a silver ring, and oh, that one was so powerful. I've had butterflies. I've had all sorts of things. So you want to choose a sign from the universe. It can be any sign, you choose it, but every time you see that sign, it reminds you of your abundance. And what this does is it changes your frequency and your thought process so that it brings you into that money zone and puts you in that special place. Okay, so choose your frequency. I love colour. So for me, it's about colour, but it can also be about sound as well. So money has its own frequency, abundance has its own frequency, and you can YouTube any of those and just listen to that in the background while you're doing things that can help you change your frequency around money. We could bang on about frequency all night, but we're going to go to the next one, and we're going to talk about keeping track of your money. So keeping track of your money, I love this. This comes from Denise Duffield, and also Tash Corbin does this one as well. Quite a few of the girls do it. And what they do is they use a colouring in book, and each tiny section of the colouring in book represents how to the money that's coming in. Because we spend so much time watching money going out, and when we go shopping, when we look at the bills, when we look at our credit card notices, you need to pay attention to money coming in. So how you do that is you track the money coming in and says, yes, I do know that you've got accountants and you've got bookkeepers taking care of that, but you need to actively be involved in the process. So for me, I love the colouring in book. It really works. Grab one of your children's colouring in books, the flowers or petals or all sorts of things where there's tiny little things, and just choose a dollar value. You know, to start with, it might be 50 cents or $1 might be one tiny little section. If you're further up the ladder, it might be $1,000 might be each section. And every time that money comes in, you colour that in. So on a daily basis, you're colouring in your money, and it helps you track your money. So Tash Corbin does a great one, which is called, I think it's 100 Days of Money, and 100 Days of Colour it is actually. And so she has a book, and every day they colour in, and it just helps them keep track of the money. Okay, and so the next one is to write a love note to your money. Seriously, this works beautifully. So writing a love note to your money. So pretend your money is a lover and write it a beautiful note. Tell it how you feel about it and how it makes you feel and how you love spending time together and all the wonderful things you want to do together. This might sound a little corny, but it works. Write a love note to your money. It'll help you stay in your money zone. Okay, so we've got act as if. Now, I'm not huge on, you know, faking it till you make it. I really strongly believe that if you think it, you'll become it, which is a little bit different than fake it till you make it. But, you know, if you want to have a conversation with the you, that's the $1 million you. So would the $1 million you get around with not having your hair coloured? Would the $1 million you get around with hanging out with the people that you're currently hanging out with? Ask yourself the questions. And I'm not, and you might be sitting there going, well, Charlene, that's fine for you. But, you know, there are things that you can do to change your environment and act as if. You know, you can colour your own hair. You can learn to do your own nails. When I was 16 and didn't have any money, I actually learned to do my own nails, and yes, I can still do other people's nails, but I just don't want to. So, you know, it might help you pick up a new skill set and open other doors for you. So you want to act as if, and I do love that picture. I miss cakes at the moment. I do want to eat cakes, but that's another story. All right, okay. And then the next thing is gratitude. How do you greet your money? What do you say to your money when it comes into your possession? Like I bent over today, we belly danced today, and it was at a nursing home, and there were 5 cents on the ground. I bent over to pick up the 5 cents, and I just said a gratitude to the 5 cents. Thank you for coming into my possession. I will hold you until I find a way to release you and make a difference to somebody else. You know, it's really important, and for everything that comes into your zone, for showing gratitude to it, whether it's a little bit or a lot. In fact, every time money comes into my bank account, I've got a little note that comes up on my phone that says gratitude. And so it just reminds me to be grateful, even though I am, even on a more daily basis, about being grateful for everything. All right, okay, so these are all the things that are going to keep you in your money zone. You set your goals. You're going to write down your how are you going to make the money. And if that's the bit that just does your head in, that's might be one of the reasons why you need to have a chat with me, and I can help you with the how. You need to hear it, do daily affirmations. You want to smell it, you know, whether it be a candle or a new car smell. You want to choose a sign, whatever sign works for you. You will see that sign. Every time you see that sign, think about your abundance. Change your frequency with color, and change your frequency with vibration, and that is by listening to, because money has a frequency, abundance has a frequency. Track your money by colouring in, write a love note to your money, act as if, and also with gratitude. Okay, so I'm just, whoops. Okay, so we've talked about money mindset. We've talked about your money story and how your beliefs and your actions are holding you in that story. And if you can't come up with your story right now, have a look at your results right now. That will tell you what your story is, and then just work backwards. You can stay in that money zone by using all of those tips and techniques that I just talked about. Okay, you might be wondering who my money mentors are. So I love Denise Duffield Thomas. She has a group called Lucky Bitch, and she was just about to write a book called Lazy Bitch, which is so inappropriate. Anyway, she called it something different, because she is all about money comes to her easily. And, you know, money does come to her easily now. I think she's making $1 million a month, so somewhere around there. Colleen Arnell, she does Passive Income Queen. She's amazing at learning the tips and techniques to making passive income. Miriam Costello, I follow that woman around. I literally go to all of her events. She's the effectologist. She's local. She's in Adelaide. She's running a Bali retreat right now. And when I can, I put my hand up to help run her events, because I just love all the work that she does. And earlier on in the piece was Wayne Dyer and Carolyn Mace and Abraham Hicks. So they're my money heroes. Absolutely love them. I'm going to stop the recording now so that we can open it up and we can have a conversation. So just bear with me one moment while I stop the recording.